It's a lovely Monday, and we are together on yet another Weekdays with Fatih. I'm going to change the name to Weekdays because my posting's all over the place. But you can't rush the creative process, right? So here we are on the last day of Songkran in Taipei area. That's the gate right there. Behind me is a city of people just having fun. They don't know each other, but they are all together having fun. I've only experienced this in music festivals before in my life, and this experience is very unique because it's kind of all everywhere in the country. A lot of people are just having fun together with water and celebrating the coming of summer, welcoming the new season and fresh beginnings and all that good stuff. So today is going to be 11 things I learned on YouTube since 11/11/11 because that's when I created my profile, my account. So let's get into it. Number one, YouTube is perspective. The sheer fact of everyone being able to just create their channels and connect with humans all around the world in whichever way, directly deceit and lies for profit, or deceit disguised as genuine care, or straight up earnest content to inspire you to do shit, is just amazing. My friend Zach, who's going to be featured on the podcast soon, made this analogy of YouTube videos being created from life experiences, just like little beads and strings and little jewels made into jewelry. Little beads and strings are made into jewelry. Most of the jewelry that you see on people are the same, made in China, plastic wearables. In the same way shops sell these accessories, everyone is presenting their little perspective on life through these videos they create on YouTube. They make it nice with the thumbnails and the titles, and you know, they're just trying to grab your attention, like pick me, pick me, pick me. And just as you would shop for a book or clothes or jewelry or life advice on YouTube, most of the stuff that you see available is just plastic bullshit. But some of them are truly unique, genuine gems, just like this one. Number two, YouTube is blessed and cursed at the same time. There's content, well, most of the content you see on YouTube is designed to keep you on here for eternity. And there is content designed to get you to stay the fuck off your screen and do something with your life. Now, I created my account on 11/11/11, which is a weird time to randomly create a YouTube account, but this wasn't deliberate. And even though it goes against the grain of views, engagement, and subscribers, and all that stuff that would make me successful on YouTube, I would much rather have you watch this video or listen to this video on your commute, when you're prepping vegetables, or, you know, just on a walk on your bicycle or something. Because the point is to take you off of the phone and find something that really, really resonates with you. To remind you, 2010, 11, 12, 13 was the golden age of YouTube. That was when Gangnam Style was the first video to hit 1 billion views. A lot of people consider it the beginning of the end for YouTube. Back in those days, I was on YouTube for music videos, game walkthroughs, and comedy skits that I cringe at right now. But this is the time when being a YouTuber is still make people perplexed, and they're like, I guess, like, oh, is that a job? Yeah. So a lot has changed since then, and I think we are in the midst of a new way of relating to the world through YouTube. Number three, YouTube may help your direction. And when I say that, I mean by watching content from people who genuinely put out videos out of care for others. Unfortunately, these videos are less popular than the vast majority of brain cell killing content, and one motivational video doesn't necessarily make people act. People have to hear the same thing maybe 1,000 times over and over again for it to click in their mind. And if your video happens to be number, 1,000 of telling someone or helping someone hear something, it's not necessarily that your video, helped that person. Yes, it did, but in a sense that your content, your suggestions added to the cumulative effect of positive change in the world. And the more we see creators distancing themselves from the ideas that they're bringing, I think we will see less ego We want to give credit where credit's due, but at the same time, we need to look at it as like a cumulative sort of joint effort from everyone, right? I came across Eric Thomas, the hip-hop preacher, and that was my entry into self-development and motivational content. Over the years, I think this genre turned into self-help porn with all the fake gurus milking this very simple truth of staying consistent, making some habits simple and sticking to it every day by selling you a shortcut that doesn't really exist. But there's no shortage of idiots. The world will never run out of ways to make money from these idiots. And what I realized after all the years of reading self-help books, watching the motivational speakers, is there's only one way to achieve anything, and that is to start small, but keep doing it every day, and one day surely you'll be on top of it. Be consistent. Patience, persistence, and perseverance are all that you need. In the end, if there's only one quote to remember from life, it is from BoJack Horseman. It gets easier. Every day it gets a little easier, but you got to do it every day. That's the hard part, but it does get easier. Now, let me interject by saying that it actually never gets easier, but what happens is you get better. And just imagine every time you do a push-up, or if any time that you tear your muscle, it's you're pushing it to stress in order to develop further. So in that sense, you get better, but it doesn't really get easier. It's all the same difficulty. All in all, I think my time spent on YouTube was worthwhile. Having been thrown into NYC after living in suburb village life in rural Turkey, then returning back to Turkey, YouTube was kind of the only way to shield my novelty craving and connection-making expressive mind from influences of just mediocrity around me. So I survived through high school and university with YouTube. Some channels helped me get through lessons and my exams, all while at the same time entertaining me. Number 4, YouTube is a university with an endless amount of classrooms. Most of these rooms are run by idiots catering to other idiots to waste humanity's collective time and energy. But you can also find the best therapists, financial advisors, and personal trainers just for you specifically. You just need to discern well and be patient to find and sustain your attention on the world's most renowned educators for you. Speaking of education, let's agree that a big part of modern day education system is geared towards placing monkeys under fluorescent white lights in cubicles or small apartments by assigning them routines. I learned more about life on YouTube than I did with my overaged dinosaur teachers at school. We are assigned these routines from the moment we enter into any daycare or any kindergarten for an average of approximately 10, sometimes 15, 20 years if you include higher education. This time is spent programming us to fit the specialized, predefined roles by teachers who are also put through the same indoctrination. Number 5, YouTube is an arena that preys on your attention. Now, you are a predator as well. Predators have their eyes in front of them. Carnivores need to focus on a single thing and pursue it until it's hunted down. Now, this is how we are designed to survive, hunting. My eyes are really bad, so without contact lenses, I can only see everywhere blurry. But still, I can sense movement, and that is a true testament to the carnivore nature, the predator nature of human beings. But we've been walking around to find food and kill animals for millions of years. And just recently, just 30 years ago, we picked up these screens and placed them between us and reality. Sometimes I feel like we are conditioned to put these screens in front of us to override our nature, our predator nature, our creative nature. We are separated from reality with a screen that can make us act and behave in a certain way because it's powered by humans. It's almost as if the screens are telling us what to focus on. In modern day, hunting is finding novel sources of dopamine, something new, discovery, and letting that discovery, letting that new fuel eventual creativity. Education should expand your mind, not narrow it down. The knowledge we gain should push us to act with clarity towards our goals, not pigeonhole us down to one single path of thinking. The information you expose yourself to should provide the steps to build a vessel to create something for building a better future for yourself and people around you. not keeping you in the same place, ruminating about the same things over and over again. Number 6, if used methodically and wisely, YouTube could produce well-rounded human beings. Here's a quote. A human being should be able to change a diaper, plan an invasion, butcher a frog, write a sonnet, balance accounts, build a wall, set a bone, comfort the dying, take orders, give orders, cooperate, act alone, solve equations, analyze new problems, pitch manure, program a computer, cook tasty meals, fight efficiently, and die gallantly. Specialization is for insects. This is a quote by Robert A. Heinlein, and I couldn't agree more. A well-rounded human is capable of doing many things, not just one thing. Now, I hear you say, oh, but what about doctors? Don't they need to be specialized? Well, no, because they need to understand the body as a whole before they are given the chance to operate or even help in a hospital, really, because communication breakdowns are the most common causes of medical errors, and medical errors are in the top 3 causes of death in the world. So, Big Pharma combined with distracted people with the attention span of a fruit fly miscommunicating with each other is as good as profiting from war. But anyway, that's a story for later. Number 8. YouTube is designed to show you what you keep watching, aka your surface level subconscious desires. The algorithm will not give you balanced suggestions to prevent lopsided consumption. Your balanced development as a human being depends on how you educate yourself. If you are a humanities person, it would be helpful for you to learn calculus and geometry. Conversely, if you're a numbers geek, it would help you to understand psychology and literature. This is truly accomplished by self-education. Everyone is unique and their needs are as well. Cookie cutter education can only create the same cookie of a person. In the same way, using AI will create cookie cutter re-renderings of human creativity. And this is why I observe ChatGPT as a war being waged against humankind's creative soul. We are watching human creativity becoming commodified by mechanizing the imagination department. The creative dance of all forms of art, which are inspired by nature, is in danger. And you are called upon to defend it, because we're fighting for the freaking soul of the world here. No pressure. Number 9, YouTube cannot affect your conscious mind. Use your conscious mind, your discerning mind on the surface level to avoid consumption holes. That means doom scrolling. One look at your screen when you're focused on a task. You look at your screen, notification, pop. You're out of focus. Go back to work. It takes you 20 minutes to regain that focus that you had before you looked at your screen. So if you don't care about this problem as like a global epidemic, chances are you are blinded by your personal problems, which restrict you from considering these as important issues. The impact that social media has on your perception of the world and how you see it on a daily basis, from what you eat, how you see your body, and your sex life, mainly the unreal expectations we have, are distorting reality through screens. And this is slowly ruining our lives. If this is the case, you are being used by social media. You are the product. Just to paint a clearer picture about the highly intelligent conscious entity that we call the algorithm, it is always active in the background, watching you watch, learning your behavior and interests, gauging your attention span and your instincts. It records and analyzes your clicks, your search history, and your watch time on each video. It then tracks your perceived satisfaction as you slowly make your way through the content maze. Then, based on your perceived behavior and your prior activity, it creates an insanely addictive, personalized stream of video recommendations. Using deep neural networks and machine learning, these recommendations are near infinite, making it near impossible for your brain to snap out of. Number 10. Okay, gotta lighten it up a little bit. The flip side, a new era of YouTube is among us. And I am so happy to be one of the pioneering people who are changing the way we look at content, how we consume it, not this short stuff that are edited millions of times with all these sound effects and visual stimulation. Copy-pasted content and content that I was talking about will become obsolete very soon. The real creators are here to stay, and all that other bullshit is here today and gone tomorrow. Because throughout my life, I have met people who also have watched long-form videos on YouTube, and I would consider them a graduate of YouTube University in the sense that they use information on YouTube presented by people who have the best interest of humanity. They develop their business, they develop their ideas, their relationships, their how they relate to the world, and following straight up honest folks these days, such as James Smith is one example, Noah Kagan is another one if you're into marketing. Geopold is a very funny comedian, a guy from England who just commentates on just lousy governments and stereotypes. So these channels and many others have been a medium for me to keep up with the world. These channels either bring attention to the important goings on about the world or provide useful insights and implementation suggestions. And in episode 9, I talk about how the power of fire, electricity, power of steel are neither good or evil. You can use either one for the blessing of people or their destruction. That is completely up to you. Also, there is no separation. Evil is as necessary as good. There's no separation. Evil is as necessary as good. So do not fear about the future. Evil, we can call ego, will eventually need to join good, which is all. If you want to experience togetherness, you have to join your single ego with the collective. Number 11. What is left for you, the viewer, is to discern well, as there's a plethora of purposely misleading content out there, not just online, but in your life as well, because most people around you are operating from a perspective of brainwashed mind. Choose who you spend time with very wisely. I will leave you with some recommendations. Use YouTube like Wikipedia, not as entertainment. Watch long-form content in full screen. Avoid the feed like a time-sucking demon, because that's what it is. And with that, here's a list of 11 YouTube channels that I have curated for you to check out. If you like my content, chances are you will like theirs as well. 1. School of Life by Alain de Botton. You probably know this. Number 2, Alex Hormozy, anything related to business. Number 3, 3 Blue, 1 Brown, logic, math. Number 4, Ari Katerina. This is a woman who just cleans for free. After School by Mark Wooding. Kurs gesagt. Coin Bureau by Guy Turner. Ask Vin by Vin Jiang. Life of Riza by Carissa Santos. Robert Greene, the author of many successful books. And Johnny Harris. This is one of my favorite journalists who is very objective and bringing attention to the important things in the world. And as a bonus, I can mention my own channel, Heads and Tails. And thank you so much for listening. Happy Songkran, happy Eid, whatever you're celebrating in the world. It's a wonderful day to be alive. I'll see you on the next one.